Welcome back to the Quick Slant on Green Bay Packer Nation. I'm J.R. Augustine, and today we're going over predictions for the Packers versus Lions, so stay tuned. So it's time for me to make my prediction for the Packers versus Lions game. Predictions are honestly getting a lot more difficult lately. When Aaron was leading the team, predictions were more about how many points the Packer offense would score, whether we'd put up a 30 points or a 40-burger, things like that. And it was really more about whether the defense could slow down the opposing offense. Things have changed drastically, of course, and so it makes it way more difficult to make a prediction on the coming game. However, I'm going to kind of lay out some of my thoughts for you, and this is what I'm basing my prediction on. So let's start on the defensive side of the ball, because quite honestly, I think that's the side that we have the least concern. I know a lot of people have been down on the Packer defense this past week for a lot of miscues, which admittedly they had. However, I think we want to keep in mind that the Packer defense held a Drew Brees-led Saints to 16 points through half of the fourth quarter. And in fact, we were ahead at that point, 17 to 16. So I think we need to keep that in our minds. Granted, we gave up 26 points to the Saints, lost the game, but I don't think the defense did an atrocious job. I think they dropped the ball in many respects, but I think a lot of that was revolving around this communication issue they've had. Now, that is going to change drastically as Morgan Burnett is taking the field again. So, with Morgan taking the field and taking communication device, allowing Clinton-Dix to kind of step back into his role of just playing football again, I think our defense is going to do a much better job in the game against the Lions than we did against the Saints. I think there will be less confusion, and we'll capitalize on some plays that we maybe didn't capitalize on in the game against the Saints. So, if we go back to the offensive side of the board, the real question is twofold, I think. One, will the Lions be able to find a way to stop Aaron Jones? And that's got to be their key, because they have to be coming into this game with the mentality of stop Aaron Jones and make Brett Hundley beat them with his arm. If I was coordinating the Lions, that's what I would be doing, because that's what we've shown them so far. Aaron Jones is generating yardage on the ground, and Brett's been struggling in the passing game. So that, I think, is what the Lions' approach is going to be to this game. So the primary question is, will Aaron Jones be able to continue to generate yardage? Honestly, I really think he will. Number one, I don't really see coordinators doing a good job of figuring out running backs mid-season. It seems like an off-season thing, that they really figure things out in the off-season and find a way to scheme and stop a stellar running back. So I think Aaron's going to continue to generate yardage because of that. But also, we're getting back Bakhtiari and Bulaga, and we had them back for a bit last game, but they were still dinged up, still struggling. They gave their best, but they still were obviously injured. And now we have another week and a half of them being off, 2 weeks off. So I think they'll be fresh as they can be in mid-season, and I think they'll do a stellar job both in pass protection and in the run game. So I think Aaron Jones is going to continue to generate yardage in this game. As far as Brett Hundley goes, I honestly wanted to see a little bit more out of Brett last game, but it seemed like McCarthy was just play calling away from it. And even when Hundley had a pass call a pass called. He audibled out of it and ran with Aaron Jones up the middle for a 46-yard touchdown. But I really hope that this game we kind of open things up for Brett Hundley a little bit more. Let him sling the rock. Hopefully, he's had another week of reps with the starting offense, with the starting wide receivers, and that will hopefully make a huge difference as he's developing this timing with those guys and kind of learning to read their tells and things like that. So I think our defense will be much improved with the return of Morgan Burnett. I think Mike Daniels is going to be a little bit more healthy, and he's going to put some pressure on Stafford from the middle. I expect that our outside linebackers will get pressure on Stafford. I expect Aaron Jones will continue to run the ball quite well, and I really think that Hundley will take a step forward, maybe not a moon landing leap forward, but I think he'll take a step forward in getting in sync with these starting receivers. And I think that whole thing will amount to a 24-17 Packer victory. I really think that we can generate. I mean, we generated 16 points against the Saints, and we missed opportunities. We missed 2 opportunities off of interceptions to put some points on the board. So I really think that this is going to be a 24-17 Packer victory. Let me know in the comments what you think. Not only what you think the score is going to be and whether you think the Packers will win, but what you think about the team going forward. Any thoughts you have about whether you're confident that Brett Hundley can make a step forward or not, whether you're confident that Aaron Jones will continue to run the ball as effectively as he has. Let me know. And definitely, if you have not subscribed to our channel, if you're kind of new here, we'd love to have you subscribe, and definitely hit that notification bell so you get notifications every time we post a video. Catch me at halftime of the game for our live halftime show. And if you're interested in becoming a patron of Green Bay Packer Nation, we would love to have you aboard. We have some offerings for our patrons. That's on patreon.com/Green Bay Packer Nation. So we'll see you halftime of the Packer game.